Welcome to Dark Skies 2078. This is pickup series 2.6 entitled Faded One. Um, just as a bit of lead up, a group of individuals back in 2077 entered into a Militech black site facility known as Black Site Rhea, and they were with others. This was outlined in the Raid on Rhea episode. It's in the backlog if you're curious. It definitely ran a bit long, but it was as deadly as I expected it to be. Time constraints and the like. But with that, the last time we saw Cryptid, she was reminded of these events a little bit more closely than she would have liked. And she has since contacted another member of that crew and has set up a meet. She's also called out the only other survivor of that situation, and called him out as well. But Riff takes public transportation, and
always.
Cryptid has figured out a way to maneuver around, stowing the road bike that she had in the van somewhere that wasn't with the van when she used it for whatever she used it for last. So she still got her bike. You arrive at the prescribed diner, a place called Old Mo's Diner up in the north side. It's not too far away from Mega Building 11, and it's also not too far away from, the main medical center of Night City, the Trauma Team International location. It's a simple enough location. You see the big Foodscape logo up on the top, which again, most Foodscape-oriented businesses, when these businesses sell out, they'll put their branding over any kind of minor branding that a diner or other franchise type establishment might have. It's a simple enough place. When you walk in, it's pretty much empty, with the exception of a character who I will have be described at a later date, but he just looks like a very smiling and happy individual, is I guess where I'll leave it. But it looks like he's kind of dealing with business ledgers and whatnot, and the main person you kind of deal with at the counter is a guy in a tank top wearing a bandana on his mostly bald head. Looks like he's covered in grease and sweat, and you would kind of see him ask you if you would like anything, and if you do, just holler at him, and you would see the person you're coming to speak with sitting in a booth at the far side of the establishment in a corner near a jukebox. Josh, this is the first time you played in 78, so go ahead and just tell us who you are a little bit, and also give us a description of what Rocco looks like now.
Sure. So my character is Rocco. He is a tech who currently resides in his behemoth out in front of Olmo's. Mo and him have kind of a deal where he can park there, and then he kind of drives up business by having his clientele come to the restaurant. So hence where we're meeting. Rocco is a rail thin individual. He looks like he is one meal shy of wanting more food. He ultimately has his left arm is cybernetic, and his right arm is fine. He has some modifications to his face as well in terms of around his eyes, but ultimately he is fairly middle-aged looking, not too what's the word, severe in looks, in terms of he you could probably lose him in a crowd pretty easily. He's pretty average, and that's the way he likes it, at least for now. So ultimately that's Rocco.
And like most establishments in Night City, this is a smoking establishment, so I presume he's got one of those drinky kind of like aluminum ashtrays seated like on the table, and is probably smoking something or another. So, Cryptid, you would see Rocco and head on over, take a seat across from him or next to him. Your call.
All right. Well, first though, we gotta go and obviously drop some money here at this fine establishment for a burger and some fries and whatever soft drinks you got.
Okay.
One for each person that comes through. They can for our table. I'll buy drinks. But yeah, burger and fries, and then we're gonna go and I'll sit right across from him.
Yep. So you're handed a plastic basket with, basically cardboard solution, fries, and Scott burger.
My favorite.
The Coke is probably a Nicola, so it's a bit more caffeine oriented or sugar based. And of the things that you just ordered, it is the most expensive of the things that you bought. And then you head over.
Hey June, what's up? How you been?
Ripped. Good to see you.
Is it
I've
though?
I've been okay.
I wish I could say the same. It's well, we'll talk about it soon enough, I suppose. How's the business going? I saw the ride parked outside. You got Matilda up there. It's nice to see her too.
Ah, you saw my picture. Yes. Gladys is in working condition. I have enjoyed many a ride around Night City now. But I still park it out front because why not? It's where people know I am. And I like it here, for what it's worth.
I'm glad you're feeling a bit more established.
Me too. It's nice to have something to call home. So,
I could say the same.
and yeah, he gives you kind of a look and he says, "What happened?"
A lot. Um, a lot. And I think you know, or you have a suspicion of some of it, but wait, I don't know if we should wait for the kid to come get here or not. What do you remember about us going into Rhea?
Too much.
Yeah.
I remember being sent into a death mission.
Yeah, about that.
Losing a lot of friends in the process.
I've got it on good authority that it was a known death mission.
What?
Hungary sold us out to Militech.
That son of a bitch! I fucking knew it. He spits out his cigarette.
Now, I guess there's some speculation on my part with that, but when a Militech AV lands on his building, with Meredith South stepping out in the timestamp as well before we went into those tunnels, I think that says enough.
There was no way we were going to hit 2 sites with the amount of people we had in no preparation. We were not prepared, we were not told, and we were apparently
sold as
set
if it
up.
was going to be, yeah, and we were sold as if it was going to be difficult, but not impossible.
But what is the point of this? We
clean up for Militech. We clean up for Militech, and it gets all nice and tied up because everybody's gonna die.
But we did not succeed. What is the point of sending group in to die? What if we fail completely? What's his
I
point?
guess it was a gamble they were willing to take.
Hungary
Either
was
way.
already on my shit list.
That's
Fucking
part
bastard.
of it. The other part
There's
is
more?
yeah. Kang Tao came in and took the corpses. So Kang Tao's got everybody, but at least what's left of them. I'm not exactly. That's uncomfortable. I mean,
Why?
who fucking knows? Who fucking knows at this point? Proof, leverage on something. I know that they haven't been too happy with Militech. Militech has been pushing them, but I mean, that's one of those things I'm not sure we're ready to get our heads into anyway yet. But there's one piece.
One Piece?
Go One Piece.
Sorry. Sorry.
Not all of El Mano was picked up by King Tao. Some bastards out there wearing his hand around his neck like some fucking pendant and preaching some bullshit gospel to some idiot fucking gangers, talking about how El Mano is the fated one who was destined to explode and shit like that. They're taking what happened at Rhea. They're taking what I put out there to the world to explain.
Yeah.
I love
That
thunder.
jukebox has been broken for a while.
When everybody died, when we had that, I know Meredith Stout told me that she would fucking kill me if I ever did, but I released the information. You know I did. I put it out there. And my scream sheet's now being used as gospel for some people to glorify what happened at Rhea. To make it into some fucking prophecy fulfilled where as much as I love to think of El Mano being the hero because he was, it's not fucking right. It's not fucking right what they're doing. And they're preying upon weak minds to spread this fucking bastardization of a fucking traumatic event, of a tragedy. That I know where he is. I've never fucking met this idiot, but I think it would be beneficial if we shut that down.
And that's why you're here.
That's the main reason why I'm here, at least for today's schedule. But the rest is still on the table. Hungry isn't. He's not high on my. He's high on one of my lists. The shit list. So, let's say we go fuck up the city at the mall. Then we talk about what we want to do about the other problem. Do you want to do something?
I do want to do something. I don't like the outcome of. Do you know of any good things that have happened from what you put out? Like any things that you intended to happen? Did they happen, or is it just this bullshit?
Well, I mean, I can't confirm too much yet, but there seems to have been some movements, some push and pull, and Tech's getting a little antsy, a little pushy. But
I wonder.
I
Go
think it's
ahead.
opening up some eyes.
Hmm. You know, in Night City, nothing is straightforward. Everything has meanings and layers. I appreciate you are a straight shooter. It's one of the reasons why we are friends. Uh, Trauma aside. However, I wonder if they got that hand, there's no fucking way that it was by luck. They either got there first, I doubt, or it was given to them and they were spoon-fed that bullshit. And if
That
so,
has
someone
crossed my
is
mind.
trying to twist your words, or worse, make people dust them off as whatever this bullshit is.
Either, no matter what way you look at it, it's not a favorable solution. It makes me look like some crackpot fucking idiot, which I'm sure is gonna play to a lot of corporations' benefits. And it's taking advantage of a lot of people who, again, don't deserve it, but that's what they do. They're parasites. And like you said, somebody is probably in the background. There's got to be a puppet master somewhere, and the only way I can think of to get down to the business here is to go and interrogate this piece of shit. See what's going on with him. He may not even be aware of what's going on. He might. Who knows? I haven't seen him yet. Don't know him.
So
I'd like to.
did they take what you said as prophecy? As in, do you have any pull on these people from what you have posted? Or is this
Yeah, they started calling me some kind of fucking prophet too. It was very, very awkward, very disturbing. They're not the smartest individuals. The people I ran into, at least.
Mm.
But they kept encouraging me to go and find this prophet, talk to this prophet. They're sure that I would have some kind of fucking. Sorry.
Okay.
I would have some kind of fucking revelation. And I'd very much like to go meet this motherfucker.
At that moment, pause for a second. Rocco, you're kind of like paying attention to her, but again, your position is intentional. You're looking out the windows of the door, and you would see that there's a goofy-looking rocker boy looking around, looking at his phone, and trying to make sure this is the place. Kind of nods and then kind of walks in. He's probably been here before. But that's not like again. That's not any indicator that he knows where he is. But yeah, door opens. You hear the chime, and Riff, you would see what you see.
Riff would walk over, but you would both notice both sides of his head are shaved now. Kind of looks like one was shaved not professionally, the other was done professionally, and he's got a like half Joker scar on his mouth.
Shit, kid, what the fuck happened to you?
Doing a job and got hacked to shoot myself. I survived though, so it's gonna make a hell of a song.
Well, welcome to the club. We all get hacked at some point, don't we?
Yeah.
Just a couple days ago, I had my optics shut off in front of a whole crowd of people. It was a good time.
I hate that. That's why I got the ice. And it worked for a minute. I got a bunch of good shots on the guy, but
So
I also got a good shot on myself.
I'm curious. What, if anything, have you two heard about that?
About what?
A couple days ago, I was leaving a job, and Arasaka AV dropped out of nowhere. And a full fucking detailed squad came after me. Security. Interesting events followed. Nobody wanted to help. I don't blame them. They probably would have died. I would have died. But long story short, they bagged me, brought me back, and I guess they wanted to do some kind of questioning, and I just managed to make my way out. Their building's no fucking joke, though, I'll tell you that.
Like Google
But,
Crane.
not exactly. That's where I stumbled on all this information. Or if I know you just got here, but thought you should know. Hungry knew what he was doing when he sent us in to die at Rhea. We weren't supposed to make it out.
Rocco watches him carefully.
And I actually want to point to Riff for a second here. So you're still standing there. Do you want to sit next to Cryptid or Rocco?
Can I just pull up a chair up to the end here?
Yeah. So you
You
kind of
bet.
grab a chair, pull it over, and sit. Absolutely fine.
I didn't know that was what was going to happen.
And I do want to note too another thing. This would be Cryptid focused, but Rocco, you're already aware of it. Olmo doesn't like footage being shot in his space and doesn't like audio being recorded in his space. Kind of an old hang up. So he does have jammers that are basically blocking any kind of video signal, brain dance recording, anything like that in his space. So Riff, when you walked in, I didn't want to stop the motion there, but your audio suite basically like so you had to kind of like turn down your hearing aid effectively. And yeah, Cryptid, you were aware of it the second you walked into the space.
I'm pretty sure we chose it exactly for that.
Yeah, Rocco probably would have mentioned it. He's not.
It's a discreet place.
I mean, he might have. I mean, if you've got proof,
I
you've got
don't-
proof. I mean, it's Night City. Everybody gets backstabbed. It's kind of part of Night City.
Yeah, but
Only if
for
you choose to.
For someone who proclaims that he's throwing down a hand to pull up the next guy behind him, that's not exactly good for the street.
Is anything?
Yeah, there's plenty that could be done, but trying to rise up to like be just another fucking parasitic piece of shit, that's not one of them.
Riff, how do you know Hungry?
I've done some jobs for him. A lot of jobs, actually. Most of my big jobs have been through him. Not music-wise, more murder-wise, but, same thing.
Before or after Rhea?
Before.
Not after?
I don't think I've done any jobs for him after since.
I'll get clarity. Hold on.
I've given and received some info from him about a couple jobs that I have done, but I don't think they were for him.
He accidentally hired me once by a third party.
Yeah, so the first gig, Pickup Series 1, Brent, you weren't in that. Cryptid was. So yeah, it would have been offered by Hungry through Regina Jones, and Regina Jones was mainly who you were working for there. Then it looks like Hungry's been off the grid for a while, actually. So yeah, no, you haven't gotten any jobs for him.
So almost seems like he's been avoiding us. 'Cause I don't know. For a while there, it seemed like he was like my #1 fan.
Yeah, but like I said, if you got proof, you got proof. I mean, I'm more than happy to kill somebody if you want me to kill somebody. I'm no qualms with that.
Yeah, well, thankfully, Hungry isn't the focus for today. That's just a bit of information I wanted to pass along. Cause I don't think that's something we should just keep to ourselves there. Or at least I shouldn't keep it to myself. I don't care. Honestly, like, if you guys want to do something about it, all the more happy to have people help. If not, I'm fucking good at going on my own sometimes, so I guess fuck it. But either way, today it's not about Hungry. Today is about Amano. Some bastard at the mall's got his hand and is spewing absolute bullshit fucking stories, twisting what happened to us at Rhea as some glorified fucking amazing godly fucking bullshit. I don't fucking know. You know those street preachers, they're fucking idiots.
Yeah.
But we
I've
just
dealt
wanna
with some.
I'm gonna go shut that down. It's not exactly sitting pretty with me that he's wearing El Mano's hand around his neck.
Yeah,
Not
no,
in a
that's
good
kind
way.
of
Not in the way I would like. Man, that would be poetic, wouldn't it?
it would be. Yeah,
Maybe
I miss the big guy, so I mean, you just pull me to him, I'll shoot him for you.
El Mano
And for
died.
myself.
El Mano died protecting me. I do not like that his body is being desecrated for sure, but
being used as a fucking mascot.
yes. How do they feel about the rest of us? That you said that they are glorifying you for putting out what you did, but we are also survivors of Leia.
They didn't have much to say about anybody else. And, gosh, honestly, they're
I suppose they
they
wouldn't
weren't the most
know. You were
they
pretty
weren't the most
discreet.
intelligent bunch. They barely knew names in general. Like they didn't even get mine right.
But that actually reminds me of something. You were quite discreet about identifying the people who were invading Leia. My name was not present in the report. You
it was.
were. So how do they know it was El Mano?
Hold on a second. I actually want to bring that up so I have exactly what I fucking posted. But I don't remember where it was posted. Was it notifications? Big spoiler, I haven't looked at my screen sheet since it was posted.
Yeah, you basically in the video scrubbed them, like in the brain dance as well. You scrubbed them so that they're not like visible. They're basically just blurred out,
Yeah.
and in most cases, just generic kind of body figures.
Yeah.
So, but you would know is that when Doji showed you the pictures of the dead, their information was in the bottom corner, like their government identification and information in Kangtao, like kind of letterhead and filing. So it wasn't El Mano
I
that was
forgot
written
about
down
that.
there. It was Salvador El Mano, in quotations, Diego. And then it would have been whatever the fuck Mooney's real name was. And then it would have been whatever the fuck Primetime's real name was.
Yeah.
And whatever the fuck
I don't
Zip's
know.
real name was.
I don't know exactly how the fuck it happened. You know I didn't put your name in that. You all read it. But somebody had all of our government names. Kang Tao has all of our government names. Somebody handed over our identities because I don't think many of us went by what we. They called me out on the street by my name. You don't even know my name.
Rocco shrugs. Do I need to?
Absolutely the fuck not. She's dead.
So you've taken the id out of your name then? He chuckles.
I've taken a lot out of myself recently. But the point is, you're right. Somebody's got our information, and it didn't come from me. Sure as hell no, I wouldn't be putting my fucking name out there. Let alone yours. I didn't even know half of their names. I didn't care. Didn't matter. Not to me. But that also raises the question though. Who's fucking leaking that? Who could? Think.
Agree?
I mean,
It's my fucking guess.
not to defend Hungry, but I never told him my real name, and I doubt anybody else would. everybody went by handles.
Okay, John, above table. I'm pretty sure most people know his name, right? Because he's a fucking rock star.
No.
No?
Riff.
They know
Okay.
Riff. They don't know my real
It's
name
Riff.
though.
Yeah, so out of character and again above table, Riff wasn't born in Night City. Riff was born in a place where it would be very hard to track his information. If his name is out there, we're talking like elite level intelligence firms. We're talking about some serious business. Salvador Diego, that's a little bit more a common name that would be known since he was basically put out on APB back in October for murdering a well-known media, Orion Ono. But when it comes to everyone else who was on that roster, Primetime's name, he's a net runner. He probably cleared that shit in that backlog, but there his name was. And Carl Storms, you knew that guy was paranoid and psychotic, like, and homeless for decades. Him having a name was like a surprise to you.
Yeah, and then there's me, and I worked with Carbon to make sure as much of my shit was scrubbed. Like,
you shouldn't exist. But there you
I
were on
shouldn't
Arasaka's screen on a Kang Tao letterhead and their information showing clear as day who you were. That's not something you think that Hungry could pull unless Carbon gave it to him.
That's true, or unless they pulled it from Carbon when they nixed him. But either way.
Do you remember who killed Carbon?
Not off the top of my head, John.
Well, you take your time and research.
Look, Cryptid would, but Lark is not remembering that.
No, she wouldn't. She wasn't there.
Well, unless,
Yeah, she'd have to have researched it. But yeah, it was Lamplighter's exit.
And this isn't something where they just were able to discern information based off of dead bodies. It was more than that. They had us too.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? There was some like fuzziness to the sound.
Yeah, he basically asked. They had everybody's name, not just the dead, right?
Yeah. Yep, they had us all. So there's something, I don't know, there's something big at play here. I don't know exactly who it's from yet. I'm just giving you what I got, because, well, you're the last of it.
So what is the plan for the hand? We walk in and ask for it? Do you have... Is it just
I'm not
us?
asking for anything. I'm fucking telling this guy. But, yeah, we're gonna go in there. I don't know. Like you said, somebody might be backing him. So, I didn't think it was probably the best for me to go in there alone.
So,
do you think...
Oh, go ahead.
Do you think they could be persuaded to, being who we are, come to our side?
It's a possibility. One I actually didn't even think of. I was
Control the
focused more on
message.
killing and taking things back, but we can try your way first. And if they don't, we're gonna have enough. I think we should be okay.
A quick note. So, from what I gathered there, what you were asking is there anybody else? And I think you were kind of trying to bring the others in. Is that a fair assessment, Josh?
Yep. Correct.
So, Cryptid, you would know kind of the plan you have in your mind regarding moving forward with that. Obviously, the biggest gun you know is someone who owes you a bit of money. And then, obviously, the only person you can trust who, with knowing for certain that you're still alive, would be Rem. Rem has been trying to reach out to you, and you have yet to reply. How would you like to respond to Rem?
Like right in this minute?
Yeah.
She did contact her once.
Yeah.
So, like, she confirmed that she's, like, alive. And she's just been giving
the
her
message
kind of,
was
like,
literally
space.
just, I persist.
Yeah, and she's just like, take your time.
I think Cryptid would put out the message work ? And see how Rem responds to that.
Where, when? Question mark.
I'll drop her the diner's location and say, let's talk. I could use your help.
She'll head that way.
My presumption is you probably found like a dive or like a hotel. Yesterday is when you got back from the Gonzo shenanigans. So like there's still a bit of sand under your nails and still a bit of other things under there as well, for murder and whatnot. But yeah, you're probably not too far away since the drop point was kind of relatively close. And you arrive.
She'll see them and head over, not jumping on tables.
Primarily for Josh, since this is the first time that you as a player and also as a character have been introduced, or will be meeting rather. Rem, is this looking like? And Elizabeth, describe your character.
So she is a bit of an adrenaline junkie. She does a lot of running, so she's very fit, and she also works out as well as doing martial arts. So she's like a little ripped, and in the little jumpsuit thing that she's in with like a big bulky sweater just to like cover up. And yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, it is winter.
It's tough.
My baddie.
So it's like
Yeah,
what,
she's
60?
a little baddie.
It's like 60 degrees out or 65 degrees out, so it's like winter in California.
She'll slide in next to Cryptid.
Okay.
Hey.
And you know Riff, right? Rem and Riff of...
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Rocco will have looked over to Olmo as basically as each person enters. So ongoing, you'll see him like look over and just kind of exchange a glance with Olmo, and Mo will exchange a glance in turn.
He'll send Gainer over to kind of like take orders from new people and kind of make sure that drinks are refilled and shit. But it seems like old Mo, again, mainly for purposes of scheduling conflicts, but he's kind of just, giving you your space in the space.
She'll just order a coffee.
Yeah.
Hey, Chica, how's it been?
Oh, just doing work. Decent paying gigs at least. So nothing to really complain about. You okay?
That's fantastic. No, I have plenty to complain about.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go into the details there yet. But kind of need your help.
Pause for a second.
You're the only person I could think of.
Pause for a second.
Yeah.
Riff, Rocco, and Rem, human perception, go. DV for Rem is a bit higher. Rocco and Riff, you kind of heard some things that she said. I have the DV set at 17. Human perception, that was regular perception.
Ooh.
Where do I click human perception?
It'll be under social.
Social.
Ah.
Rem is so perceptive.
Okay. Yeah, nobody really notices, but out of character, above table, like for folks watching at home, when she says, I don't want to go into the details of that, and also the way she kind of described the situation, obviously we, the viewer, understand that it went a little differently than she's explaining it. So again, the tell is definitely a higher DV, but it was there when she said it. Okay, anyway. You folks don't know in character, so don't you be crossing. Okay. Back to it.
It went exactly how I say it went. That's
right.
How it went.
Right. To Rem. Yeah, she's a believer. She rolled a 1.
So, first of all, I want to just... Thanks for reaching out. I'm sorry I didn't exactly return the sentiment very well.
I mean, you pretty much got kidnapped by corporations, so, I was worried, as I feel like I should have been.
Yeah, well, lots of
But
people
yeah, I'm
lack
glad
that
you're okay.
ability. Yeah, about as okay as I could be, I guess. So here's the problem. No, it's not really a problem because it's gonna be great. The bastard in the fucking metal bucket didn't give me my money back.
Siege?
Yeah, that's his name. Yeah. So I was thinking, I got this gig that I'm trying to put together, and I would love for you to come, and I'm more than
She's
happy to
like
give you some.
putting him, like calling him up on Hollow right now. Or
And
just
I
like
would love to have
internals.
you with me. More than willing to throw you some eddies, but I really want you to call him in. I want you to call him here. Do not say a fucking word about me. Tell him there's a job.
I'm ringing him up right now, don't worry.
You know, this entire time, like
Chat's not here
we've
though.
kind of just been sitting there, and at this point, he probably like, oh, Cryptid, I do have to apologize. I think the reason Arasaka came at you with the full team is probably because last time they sent one person, he got murdered. And he will, in like the waiting on Siege to answer and show up, Riff will explain at the concert when he met the Arasaka guy and how he had a bunch of people murder him pretty much.
First of all, proud of you. That is the correct way to use your influence. Second, I'm not sure the two are completely connected, but
I know corpos aren't that smart, but I figure they probably learned their lesson after the first time.
Take a moment, though. When did that Arasaka agent come to meet with you? Was it before or after Rhea? Because I'm pretty sure that's the question
Before.
shot. Was it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it was way back. It was back when we did the job where I had to play the concert to distract them, and I got into the truck,
yeah. That's right,
and
that's
I
right.
just murdered the netrunner
so that
lady
was
in there.
long before Rhea.
Oh, I thought you were
Yeah.
talking about a different
That's
instance in my head.
Beautiful. I don't know if that's yeah. Crips is like, I don't know if that's got anything to do with it, but you know what? Maybe they did learn something.
There he is.
But again, proud of you. That's exactly what we use our voices for.
So, a quick note, too. I want to make sure this is very clear. Hollows don't have background noise. It is literally just digital, like, displays of your voice. So, you can definitely do a hollow call with everybody around you, but if you want privacy, you can also move away.
Or I said Hollow, but I just meant like her internal agent.
Yeah, the same thing.
Oh.
Hollow
okay.
is basically just a phone call where the heads-up display is either your icon or it will basically have a full scan of your body due to your neural port, like reading where your neural endings are located, and basically just creates a digitized, almost like AI-esque version of your face, but it's actually doing exactly what your face is doing in the moment, except instead of it being like a camera, like looking at you, it's like against a black backdrop and nothing in the audio around you is kind of happening because it's only taking in your voice.
Yeah. Well, okay, so she'll go down to a booth a couple away where they can still hear her, but
Sure.
a little bit more private. And she'll call Siege.
He answers, and when he answers, it seems like he's running really, really, really fast.
Hey,
He's just
busy?
dead sprinting.
Fast as fuck.
Fast as fuck, boy!
Hello.
Hey, are you busy?
No, I'm exercising.
Cool. So
Commit.
Doing a little parkour here and there.
So,
John, you muted?
does your contract prevent you from doing outside work?
No contract. I'm a killer for hire. If the money's good, I'm there.
Well, I have a great job for you then. Are you able to take it today?
I mean, what are the details? What's the pay? Ha, ha, ha.
That's his fuck?
I don't have all the details yet, but I think you'll want to take it.
Okay.
Cryptid will text you and say, tell him
She'll-
it's 3,000 eddies.
I've heard it's probably in the realm of 3,000 eddies.
Okay. Send me the
I'll
address.
send you
I
the
will be there.
details.
Yes, send me
Then
the
she'll
address.
send
I'll be
over.
there as soon as possible.
The address
Yeah.
is flicked. Again, it is an address of no consequence. It's apparently a bar in the north side. I would say, based on the jobs that you've had thus far, your presumption is it's either Hatter as the fixer, or maybe it's just something Rem wants done solo. And just to kind of put a pin in it before it starts blowing up. So far as you understand it, according to Ares, Rem is a person who is like trustworthy. She's been shipping him a bunch of fucking shit. She seems on the level. So there's, as far as I can see, no reason why.
I've been on missions with her before and everything. No
Copacetic.
problems there. No reason to suspect her of anything.
Yeah, but after this session, who knows, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Listen,
well-
hoes before bros.
We'll see how it goes.
For bros, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so
He's
see,
the one who didn't return the money.
you've got the address, and I would say probably about no more than 10 or 15 minutes later, you're able to get there. Again, you were probably on the north side anyways. Like, you've been kind of doing some activities around here. And it looks like a nondescript diner. Based on the positioning of everybody where they're at, you would see that Rem's sitting next to Riff, and there's a guy you don't know across from them. And Cryptid's tucked away behind.
Yep.
She'll kind
So-
of turn in the booth and just kind of like wave him over.
So, like, as you pop
Yeah.
in, I'm
He walks
assuming.
in street clothes with his bag over his shoulder.
Yep.
And then looks around, sees Rem, walks over. By the time he gets here, behind Riff, he just stops.
And Crypt is just gonna give him the biggest shit-eating grin.
And he's wearing his sunglasses, and I can best describe his facial expression as Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator 1 in the bar.
And you mentioned something that you wanted to do prior, and that happens, right? You're now doing that. The click,
I mean, yeah, I at least try to flick a text message in my internal.
So yeah.
Yes.
when
Sorry, Choom. This place is a bit too discreet.
Well, you can flick a text. Text messaging
Yeah.
is fine. And you can go ahead and send that. That's fine. But the other thing I meant is the micro video, right? Your cam rolling.
Oh yeah.
Okay. That's happening according to everything you can understand.
Okay. As far as he knows it's on and it's working?
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, he's just kind of stoically processing what the fuck is going on.
Not even a hello?
I thought you were dead. To be honest.
That was a
Didn't
bold
really
statement.
think Aristotle was in the habit of leaving survivors, witnesses, loose ends. I don't know which one you are.
Yeah, that's the problem with fucking assumptions, right? They tend to make an ass out of you and me.
This is Night City. Think fast or die.
Exactly.
She pulls out a gun and shoots it.
on Good try.
No, you would fail probably, but but I do. I'm sorry, just the way he said it and the way you replied, I was like, she's gonna shoot him. Also, you would know headshots aren't lethal, so why would you aim at the head?
Yeah, headshots are absolutely not.
You're not trying to
lethal.
take him prisoner. Go ahead.
No.
Yeah, where were we?
We'll just cut to this chase. Okay, I got a job for you, right? But here's the thing: you already owe me 3,000 eddies, or work. So.
Okay, what's the work? If I'd known you were still alive, I would have given you.
I don't know,
eddies back.
Siege. You take a good fucking guess what that work is. What do you do for a living?
Well, yes, obviously, but who do you want me to kill? Riv?
Yeah, we'll get into that. We got some fucking
Wait, hold on. Sorry. Well, who do you want me to kill, Riff? Riff kind of turns and looks up at you, and this is the first time you've seen the left side of his face because of the way he's seated, and you see the bullet hole in his cheek, like, still like, scarred, and, like, his hair been shaved from the bullet scar. It looks like he literally had a gun in his, like, it looks like he pulled the trigger.
It looks like he tried to Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
And so he turns and looks up at you like, what the fuck did you just say?
It's like still fresh, right?
Oh yeah, it can't not be. I mean, it's been healed, so it's like kind of like scarified, but it's still kind of got a redness to it.
It's probably like been a few days and some treatment.
One wonders how he can sing from that, but
yeah. It's like every time I sing, there's a whistle now.
Harmonic.
It adds character. You
Talk
gotta
about talking out of
those
both sides of your mouth.
music.
And Siege notices this on his face, and he just says, "Fuck, man, that looks like it hurts."
Hey, I'm a hell of a shot. What can I say?
And he's trying to like figure out what the fuck that means.
You're an artist.
You made me choke out.
He kind of shakes his head and he turns back to Cryptid and he says, "All right, so you want me to kill somebody? Who?"
Before we talk the details, I got some terms and conditions I'm gonna lay down. And you're gonna shut up and listen for a second, alright?
I'm very confused, but okay.
Alright. Here's the deal. Militech doesn't get to know a goddamn thing about this. I know that red fucking light means.
Yeah, but how do you know who it belongs to? How do you know Siege works for Militech?
Pause for a second. Remember how you arrived the last time you saw her? In a combat cab with Ares and his crew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here going,
Rem
yeah,
assumed. Also, Rem assumed that you just have like a Militech contract because the only time she's ever seen you is with Ares.
Yeah, and not to mention you're decked out in Militech like an athlete's decked out in fucking Adidas. So
no, Siege buys
not
all his
that
armor
deep.
himself. Thank you. And then Vix and the other mocks paint it up.
For sure.
But you told them, you said they can't paint up this suit.
They can't paint up the Metal Gear. That shit's expensive. It comes with a warranty.
Anyway, as I was saying,
is he wearing that?
Right? Shit about
oh
this.
no! He's got it in the bag.
Okay.
I'm talking no recordings, no voice, no video. If Ares even gets fucking wind that I'm alive, and I find out, which I will find out, the max tack will be up your ass so fucking fast. I'm not joking. I'm not playing.
Pause for a second. Siege, make a human perception roll.
Hold on. Where's my character sheet?
Can you not find your character sheet?
There it is. It was.
Sorry.
Oh, you pulled everybody out, so we were all the way at the bottom.
Yeah, I do that every time, just to make sure you guys know where it's at. Easy peasy.
Yep.
That makes it so much simpler.
I do my best.
All right. So awareness, human perception.
Human perception, yeah. No. That's the regular perception. Human perception is in social.
Yeah, we went over that.
Yeah.
1 second here. I want to.
No worries. We'll keep that roll. What's your level in human perception, and what's your stat? Which would be empathy, I think. Probably not the greatest.
Hold on 1 second. Why can't I?
Right now.
Hold on 1 second, John.
Don't worry, I'm doing the math myself.
Yeah, but I also have threat detection.
Yeah, this wouldn't be that.
Oh yeah. Sorry, this is not human perception. I do have threat perception of that.
Gotcha. I mean, obviously it is a threat, but it's more of a like a verbal one.
Yeah, I got you.
With the result that you would have received on that, which would have been 9, let me explain something to you. She's very serious, and she was with you when you murdered Melissa Chen. She's always recording, and you know that's true because she sold footage to your boss. So when that statement is dropped, your idea is, okay, she could definitely pull that card. That is something that could happen. And then also, you're thinking about what it means to kind of not tell Ares about this.
Mm-hmm.
That's not so much a problem, depending on who you're killing here. If it's someone that's not Militech related or not Corpo related, who gives a fuck?
Right.
Shouldn't come up ever again. Let it bygones be bygones. Give her money. Let her remain incognito. It's not like Ares isn't gonna fucking find out she's alive.
He'll find out on my terms.
Or someone else's terms who sees her.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, there's nothing stopping Riff from telling Hungry, and
that is also true.
There's nothing stopping a lot of the people who are looking at you right now from telling someone else and it getting out. But yeah, again, it's a pretty decent amount of people that are pretty trustworthy. Siege is just the one we're doing.
I haven't,
yeah.
I specifically have not applied pressure to anybody here except Siege.
No need to.
No need to. Yeah. Because Siege is going to do this job for me. Anyway.
He's still listening to your terms.
Yeah. That's, for the most part, my priority. Now, as far as money goes, like I said, you kind of owe me quite a bit.
Yes, we've covered that already.
Yeah.
So no video, don't tell Ares.
No recording. It stays completely silent from you.
Okay, well, if you're going to do your thing, at least get to my good side.
I
Same.
always do. I get your most authentic self. Don't you worry. So,
Okay, so who am I killing today?
some bastard at a mall who thinks he's a fucking prophet.
Okay, well, I hope he can come back from the dead.
I don't.
For his sake.
So, we're not gonna kill him straight up. Don't fucking do this like you did Melissa Chen.
Then why did you call me?
In case shit goes south. Where it's not gonna be just a run in and fucking gun him down. We gotta talk to this idiot.
Still got sweeter. You may not even have to kill somebody and you're getting 3,000 eddies.
Oh, he already got the 3,000.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
No. But for him, it's like, okay, so I'm just back up, and we're bygones be bygones, and we just leave each other the fuck alone. Okay.
Yeah.
Duh.
That is pretty steep
You
deal.
money more than me anyway.
Even better,
So,
if it does turn into a fight with the whole mall, you get to kill a whole mall.
yeah, man.
Win-win.
That'll be great for your fucking body count. But yeah, we're gonna go in. We're gonna talk to him. Might not even have to fucking kill him yet. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like, I don't know. My gut's telling me it won't be pretty. He's got something I want. I'm gonna take it from him, and you're there to provide us with the backup we need if we need it. Simple.
Okay. Mind if I get the drink?
Yeah, fucking of course.
Okay, awesome. Well, let me know if you need anything. I'll be over here.
You walk
He
over
goes
to,
and sits at the bar.
You walk over to Gainer. Gainer will give you a Brosif if you ask for alcohol, a Nicola if you ask for soda.
Yeah, Brosif.
Yep. It's bog standard. I mean,
Yep,
it's not on tap.
It's not about the beer. He's drinking and thinking.
Okay.
Hey, brosifs keep people alive. Brosifs prevent you from dying from an AV landing on you.
For sure. So you four are kind of there. Siege walked away, sat down, and is drinking a Brosif. His bag is probably on the stool next to him.
All right. So, my understanding is this guy is situated at what's the name of the mall? Something or other mall.
Grand
What is that
Imperial
place?
Mall.
Yeah, Grand Imperial Mall. Don't know exactly what he looks like, but it shouldn't be that fucking hard to find him. If he's proselytizing to random fucking gangers, it won't. He's not hiding.
Didn't you say he wears a hand?
Yep, that is what I said. He's got Elmano's hand around his neck.
So that should be pretty easy to find him.
Yeah. Trust me, we'll know him when we see him. Or I will. Rocco should. We
Of
know what we're
course,
looking
I'm an
for.
arms dealer. Of course, I'd recognize a hand.
So, Rem, I'm taking it you're in for a mall visit?
Yeah. Haven't been to the mall in forever.
I can't remember the last time I've been to this fucking mall.
When you murdered Melissa Chen.
That
You
was
were
at the mall?
That was at a mall, yeah.
I know we
Yeah.
were up in some food place. But
Yeah, there's fine, fancy establishments, but there was a mall downstairs, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that's that. Alright. Well, to skip the detail, oriented shit, maybe we just go. We do things here, and then we go. I don't think it needs to be any more detailed than that. Let's go figure out who we gotta kill. If we gotta
I'm
kill.
ready.
Gotta kill.
Yeah, so Rocco, you definitely have a means of transporting people across Night City. Unless other people want to take different methods of transportation. I will note, though, I'm going to go ahead and move us to the big map. Pacifica. Oh, wow. The whole time it hasn't been on the... I
tried typing, yeah.
Wild. For those who were watching, we were on this map the whole time.
That's sad.
Yay. What? For some reason, it's got me logged in as GM mode over on the right side window, which is the window I stream with. I try to keep GM and player information separate. If that map had walls or anything, you guys would have seen everything, because that was in GM mode. But it's fine. Now we're in player mode, so the next beat should be fine. Pacifica. If those of you are not terribly familiar with Cyberpunk, everyone would know in character what Pacifica is. Pacifica is the largest combat zone in all of Night City in the year 2078. Back in the time of the Red, possibly before that, a bunch of big corporations spent a shit ton of money trying to get big ass hotels, resorts, features, the like here. And sometime in the late 2050s, 2060s, that all went to shit. And then when the Unification War happened in 2070, pretty much half of Pacifica was taken over, the combat zone was taken over by NUSA and used as a forward attack point during that war. Unfortunately, when the war came to an end, a lot of the NUSA members there remained and formed a gang called Barghest. And on the western side of Pacifica, closer to the water, there are two gangs that operate there. However, one of them does not really, in actuality, operate there. The Voodoo Boys are the ones that hold Pacifica as their own. Ever since the summer of 2077, though, their numbers have dwindled and their presence has been less dominant. And then the other gang that sometimes is seen to operate in Pacifica are the Animals. And they are the ones that you are focused on, because according to Cryptid, the cult persists inside of that gang. They have taken up a place inside of the Grand Imperial Mall, which is another failed establishment of corporate idiocy. And it is a place you will have no trouble getting to. But if it is truly being held by the gang, it could be a stronghold. It could be a very, very rough situation if you're just walking in. But yeah, Siege, they would kind of all get up and start getting ready to move out. I assume that Crypto would walk over to you and basically ask you as like a final kind of byline here, are you in?
You muted.
Muted. Sorry, Chad.
My bad.
No worries.
Yes, I'm still here. And I have your money. I have everything I need. Just
Great.
I'll go with you, and you can just tell me who to kill when we get there.
Well, Rocco, you mind giving him a lift?
Who else needs a ride?
I'm gonna be going on my bike, I think.
I also will need
I
a
like
ride.
having my
Okay.
own shit.
I'm also down to take the bus if you want me to. I have no issues with that.
So I think Rem,
Public
Siege,
transportation to the mall? Hell yeah.
and Riff will probably be going with Rocco. There is
Yeah.
enough room in the cab for everyone to sit up there relatively comfortably, but there's also space in the back that can be utilized as well. And because of the way you set it up, you kind of have like a door that goes between. It's more like
Yeah.
a trailer than a full-on APC. Where would you like them to sit in your behemoth? And sorry, real quick, Siege. This is reminding you of like training. Like it's literally a Militech behemoth, like APC, like armored personnel carrier. Looks like it's been beaten the shit out of. Looks like the armor is all basically redone on the damn thing. Looks like he actually paid for the bulletproof glass, which is not something Militech typically does. You're like, okay.
Is
Don't
the
forget
turret
Matilda,
deployed?
the fourth
No, sorry.
survivor.
That's a thing that we need to kind of focus on because it's not visible on the
Oh.
vehicle. It is in the vehicle. So we'll discuss what that means in a
It's
bit.
pop-up.
It's not a pop-up.
Cool.
It does not come out.
No?
No, it is just a back door. The back door drops and it's da-da-da-da-da-da.
Okay. Okay. I thought it was mounted like
No.
up top.
No, there's no way he could afford that.
Not only that, but that's a target. So
That's
Yeah.
true. That is true. This whole time I thought you were like just putting yourself right out there. I'm like bold, but
no. He's more discreet than that. I like to think of it more like in Fear the Walking Dead, that compartment that opens and she can shoot out the side, only toward the back instead.
Do you want to put them in the front with you, or do you want to put them in the back with your tools and shit?
Front for sure.
Okay.
Riff is fine to be in the back, but I don't really know any of these people, so I'd rather have them all be in my cab with me.
Sure. So I assume that Rick is put in the back, Rem's put in kind of like the middle, and Siege is kind of put in the passenger seat. Again, very wide space in the middle, so even though you're sitting in the middle, you're like a solid half a person away from everybody else. And then a thing I want to make sure I mention here and now before we get to moving. To drive a behemoth in Night City, it requires special licensing. It is an armor personnel carrier. The weight and the tires basically cause damage to concrete and other things that are part of the ground and the roads. There's like a lot of LED displays on the ground and all this. This is something that's already been taken into account. Rocco has paid his licensing fee. He is allowed to move the vehicle, but he is only allowed to move the vehicle for specific durations of time. He cannot just drive all day. He can just drive for specific numbers of hours, and then he's flagged if he goes above that. So you're pretty sure that you'll be able to make it to Pacifica, but you do not think you'll be able to make it back all the way to the north side with your daily allotment in time, which means you're going to end up staying either in the Glen or in Arroyo tonight. Which again, you're in a mobile fucking kind of vehicle. You got a bed, cot type thing in the back. This isn't a big deal for you. It's just, again, we established that behemoths cannot be driven around outside of corporations all willy-nilly and run the streets. So we have to maintain consistency. They literally had an
likely
entire.
not going to be a police chase.
Yeah, they had an entire plot point where they were like, well, we have to call somebody in traffic control, and they called Cazador, played by Chedwards, to get licensing suspended so that they couldn't use an APC to transport Jewel. So I just want to make sure that it is very clearly highlighted that because it was very specifically denoted, I have not forgotten, and I'm not giving people special treatment. He is paying for his license. He is allowed to drive only so much at a given day. So, you drive, make your way along the highway, and we'll end up in Pacifica without issue. When you get outside of the Grand Imperial, it is a wasteland. Pacifica, as you're driving through it, is a wasteland. There are probably points while you're sitting there, Siege, and you actually can hear and see bullets hitting against the windows. Like, okay, it's a combat zone. They're not shooting at you. It's probably just strays that are being caught by the massive size of the fucking carrier you're in, right? But again, it's kind of like if you've ever been to a combat zone, it's been a while, so you're kind of like, okay, cool. But at the same time, if you've never been
feels like home.
Yeah.
He basically grew up in a combat zone.
There you go.
So first of all, when people get into the vehicle, Rocco gives rules for riding in the ride.
Seatbelts
make
on.
sure that so like for example, the drink that Siege is currently still holding from the bar, he makes sure. What?
You think Siege can't crush a beer?
Well, that's fine. Then that. But like, if anybody has a drink, he's like coasters, please. Things like that. He keeps a tidy ship. So it might be a mess, but it's his mess, right? So and then when we get to the war zone, as John described it, Rocco will be basically like sightseeing in terms of like, oh, that is, and he identifies that kind of gun like instantly. Like he's like, oh, that's a good gun. I wonder who's shooting it, what's going on. That would have pierced the vehicle if only he had not put on the armor piercing. Yeah. So yeah. He
nerds weapons
pleasantly. Yeah, he's humming. He's kind of humming like, oh, this is home.
Yeah. And it's actually interesting to Siege because he's actually listing off the guns. He's listing off like qualities of the guns if they were modified this way or that way. And so as you're kind of listening to Rocco, he does sound a bit goofy, right? And obviously a bit weird. But to you, like once he starts kind of talking about the guns, it's like, oh, I like you. like you know,
just like home. Bullets, just like Mama used to make.
Yeah, the Russians. He just drives the behemoth into a fucking canal. Like he's whistling, everybody else is screaming. So he's just like, "Yeah, we'll make it there quicker by 10 minutes."
Save on gas.
If we just drive up the coast, yeah, fuck it.
So you think is anybody in Pacifica gonna take umbrage with Siege walking around in armor?
It's a combat zone. It's a combat.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Everybody,
they're gonna take umbrage with
one.
you. Period. If they're gonna take umbrage with you,
is there room in the where he's sitting for him to get his armor on?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. While they're driving, that's what he's gonna do.
Yeah, you'd probably fly.
Armor up, baby.
If this bad boy rammed into a concrete wall, you'd fly a good 3 feet before you hit dashboard. Like it's everything one hopes for in a nice roomy space. But yeah.
Yep.
You're right out
on the metal gear.
You're right at the parking lot, and then Siege would be fully kitted out. Anybody else who has their prep, you're doing it. But when you arrive at the parking lot, it's basically just empty. There are fires, like cars that have been kind of like blown away, covered with bullet holes, but there doesn't appear to be anybody present. Out in front of the Grand Imperial, the facade, you can see that the Grand Imperial sign is kind of broken. There's a lot of breaks in the glass that kind of make up the front-facing Grand Imperial. But it looks like there is a lot of debris and a lot of just shit that has been piled up where the doors are, forming a very strange-looking barricade. However, even like the least observant of the group which we'll say is Riff, is able to
Riff's playing his guitar.
yeah, he's not even paying attention, and he notices. But there does look like there are plenty of options in through the front facade to get into like the section of the or a section of the mall that you want to get to. Besides that, as you're kind of scanning it, if anybody wishes to make either a perception roll or a tactics roll, you may. Tactics rolls lower DV, but the information will be the same for either skill you choose.
As a heads up, the guitar that he the play instrument that he rolled is actually oh wait, I rolled guitar, not play instrument. It's alright. It wasn't.
Did you give me a perception, Chad?
Yeah, hold on a second. You said it was either perception
Or tactics.
Tactics.
Tactics is under education.
Like
yeah,
perception.
we'll go with perception.
Okay. So, Cryptid, you kind of notice that there does appear to be kind of side passageways that kind of move into the kind of like sections near and to the side of the mall. But Siege, you notice that there appears to be a service ladder that has been descended, but looks like it's kind of beaten the shit out of and mangled. You're pretty sure, though, it being kind of an iron structure, it'll suffice even your weight. That kind of goes up to the second floor of the main hall of the Grand Imperial. And if you wanted to enter from a position of like height, that would probably be your best avenue for entrance.
Yeah, he just like hops out of the behemoth, does like one of these, and then just points and starts walking towards it.
Cryptid will
See,
Guess we're
See-
going this way.
wait 1 moment.
follow.
Yes.
Yes, my dear.
So, Crypt, the plan is front door.
Looks like the plan is this fucking janky ass ladder, but
Okay. So,
unless you got something you'd rather take through a front door.
well, this is the reason I was asking about the plan in the back in Watson. Last time, not having a plan did not go so well.
That's
We
fair.
lost a few people. So, before shit hits the fan, shall we at least comment on what fan we shoot at?
That's fair. So I'm not really concerned but whichever way you guys want to go in. If you want to go in the front door, I'll go in the front door. If you want to go up this ladder, there's other entrances and exits too.
Sure, but if you go in the front door and you want me to watch your back, I can watch your back really good from up there.
Like I
Sure,
said,
but you're
I
all
don't give a
alone
sh-
if...
it's-
Yes. Let's see. So there are many ways in and out. There are many of them. It is a cult. Do you know any information about this cult, such as are they looking for members to join, perhaps, or is there a way to seek audience with Mister Speaker of the Mouth?
Well, unless you want to get a black hand tattooed on your chest real quick, that's how they identify each other.
A black hand, you say? Do you have any picture?
We could always pose as wannabes and just like fucking give ourselves a handprint.
Do you pull out a
I
picture?
don't know. You got what?
Do you pull out a picture? He asked
Yeah,
for.
I would. Sorry.
Okay.
I'll flick it to him.
Yeah, it just looks like you played
It's literally,
you played Elder Scrolls games, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like the Brotherhood.
Okay. Is it something I think I could duplicate with like oil from my shop?
Yeah, there's probably I would assume there's like face black or like some other kind of like boot shine or some other kind of like dark material that's not like oil per se, but it would be like paint like substances.
Grease paint.
Grease paint, that's a
I'll be
great one,
honest,
yeah.
I I don't think we gotta be too
Uh,
specific with it. We, like I said, we can pose as wannabes. These the gangers from the animals. They were trying to tell anybody who would listen about this shit. So if we just say that we believed it and show up with hands painted somewhere on us, I don't think it would matter if it was a master artist or a fucking 5-year-old that did it.
I mean, they were talking to you to talk to this prophet. The closest we can get to them is by being invited, rather than wading through a population of, well, idiots, as you've called them.
Mm.
But I mean, perhaps we can make them friendly idiots.
Perhaps. I do still think that it might be a good idea for Siege to go up that ladder.
Fair enough.
If we can catch them by surprise, if they decide to spring, it's probably for our benefit.
The question is, are you able to be inconspicuous, Sieg?
No, but that's not a problem if they don't see me.
Okay. Well, let me put a hand on you just in case somebody finds you. And he pulls out some grease paint and puts it on. Allowing, he asks, is it okay if I put grease on this beautiful armor of yours?
I suppose it should wipe off easy enough.
I love the way you said no, but if they don't see me, I just imagine like he like, can you be inconspicuous, and he just starts flexing for no reason. He's like, no, but if no one sees me, then they will not know I'm there. Why is he Zangief?
Don't forget, he's fast as fuck.
He's fast as fuck, boy.
Oh, I was just gonna ask. I have Kim skin.
Yeah.
There's nothing like with that I could make a hand appear on my chest, is there? I don't imagine there is, but just from reading it, figured I'd ask.
No, you could do it. Like you can just bring it up on your hollow and change the pigments on your chest. It's not a problem. Cool. It looks better than the others.
More committed. Let's go.
Rocco has, by the way, parked the vehicle so that the rear is facing the location that they're going. So that way, if they need to make a quick escape, the business side is pointed toward the establishment.
Quick note, you would probably pull your tab and like actually kind of like set up the automation so that you're keying these people who are in the vehicle to it. Siege, go ahead and make me a Cybertech roll.
Oh no. That is under tech.
Yes, it is.
Or education?
So, it's a tech.
Oh, Cybertech.
Yep.
It's not my best, but we'll see what.
Okay.
Whoops.
So you do not know the purpose of the tablet, but you would catch wind of the fact that it looks like he's inputted like you and also the others into the tablet. You don't know what that means, but that's basically as he's kind of like putting the vehicle into position, kind of pops out, you kind of watch him do it, and then he kind of puts the tablet back into the space, closes the door, gets ready to move out.
Everyone here gets access to the vehicle for 3 hours, but not driving permission.
But the gun.
But the gun, yes.
Oh no, the gun is in the vehicle, and you have yet to see it, so you don't even know it exists.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If you had rolled,
Matilda's a close secret. Yeah.
Fun fact: if you had rolled 3 higher, you would have known that he was basically keying up a Militech turret structure, but you didn't, so you don't. Unless you want to spend luck. I don't suggest it. I really don't suggest it. It's not worth it. Okay.
Chad's contemplating it though.
No, sorry, I missed all of that.
Oh no, he was frozen.
Oh, he was frozen.
You were frozen, like you were literally frozen in fucking thinking guy face, and I was like, dude, he is locked in. He is really considering spending that
That's
luck.
what I thought, too.
I was like, that is wild. Okay, so I have it.
Oh yeah, fuck, I forgot we got a rocker boy. I could do that.
You could. That's why I said you could. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Rocco,
But I will not.
Rocco, Riff, Rem, Cryptid, front door, and then Siege, ladder up to the top. Effectively cover fire, Overwatch position.
Yeah, and I'm
Also, I am gonna put one of those black hands on my chest as well,
Okay. And what about you, Rem?
right under the collar of the shirt.
Rem, are you?
Like on my clothes.
Well, you could pull the sweater off and like zip down the zip down the jumpsuit. I mean, it's totally an option.
We could put it right over your face like an Urukai.
Yeah, you can Urukai it if you wanted
Oh my
to.
god.
You can put it on the jumpsuit. You don't have to.
On the cheek, look like someone slapped you.
Yeah,
On the ass.
probably harder to show off to prove to who you are, but yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure she could strike a nice pose.
Oh, I thought you meant without the jumpsuit. Okay.
No, right on top of that jumpsuit.
She is wearing a full ass like jumpsuit. Like that'd be hard to.
Yeah, like she's full
Figure out.
coverage.
Yeah. You can just put it on the jumpsuit. Again, the jumpsuit's probably kind of like a plasticine, kind of like I think it has like a bit of a less clothy, more plastic kind of vibe. Is that fair, or
A
am I
little
wrong?
bit of acetone.
Have
would
you
get
ever
it out.
tried to wash oil-based stuff out of polyester?
I'm gonna assume that you're not doing
Yes.
it then, because I have no idea how clothes work, and you do. So
Well, I will say that oils they love plastic.
I know. That's why.
That's because they are plastic.
I
Yeah,
don't-
oils love plastic.
I don't work in oils, mostly alcohol-based markers.
I work in a chemistry lab.
These are very different.
High five on chemistry. Except
Uh,
mine's laundry chemistry.
So, Rocco,
Fiber.
are you cool with going in the front door, or do you want to take like a more Overwatch position? Like, do you want to kind of be a little bit further back? It sounds like Cryptid's wanting to do the talking, and of course that's what you want. But I just want to make sure everybody who's
I don't-
going in. Is...
I don't think Rocco would be much use talking. So he might be good with comms and like suggesting in her ear, and then going up with Sieg if he needs help or bolstering of armor. But that being said, I guess my question would be, well, I guess he'll bring a rope, but is there something like I could come down on if needed that I have?
I would say, yeah, that's probably not an issue. You could probably have something in your tech bag that you could, kind of whip up pretty quick.
Grappling
Very
hook or
rigged, yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. I wanna make sure I have a quick way down.
And then Siege, when you see
I was
Rocco,
about to-
when you see Rocco
Uh,
getting prepared with his tech bag, you would notice that he's putting armor plates in his bag, which is something you don't really understand. But go ahead and make a weapons tech roll just to kind of catch on.
Like you are proving with all these roles why people like Siege pay people like Rocco.
Yep. We just
said
you
that
know,
was,
you know
what?
what?
Weapons tech.
We don't need Zip 2.0 here.
Are you
No.
talking about Siege or Rocco?
Satisfactory. So you are aware that some techs who are quick on their feet are able to repair armor on the fly, like literally right on the scene. It's a perk we've got,
Yes.
and he
Yes.
apparently is prepping as if he has that perk. And
Yeah,
out of
excellent.
character,
He's immediately just
he-
like, come with me, stay
Yes.
close to me.
we can be best friends, Russians together. Let us hold hands, Russell Bear. We
Picks up Rocco, stuffs him in his backpack.
a great Soviet Union, which still exists in this world for some reason.
So yeah, Siege will have all four of his ranks into shadow.
Okay.
I imagine as he like moves up the up the ladder and through the second floor, he's going to be doing so discreetly.
Cool. So I'm going to need you to go ahead and make a stealth roll, and Rocco, since you're going that route as well, go ahead and make a stealth roll. Now, for the people who are going in through the front door, you notice that there are broken windows and the like. There are broken windows and the like, but it does look like the situation is a little bit more kind of like you have to pick and choose kind of which entrance you were going to go into. Um, that said, you aren't getting in easily is the main thing I want to stress. And the other thing you would notice is that the car or the behemoth wouldn't have been able to back into here very easily either. There's a shit ton of junk. And I'm going to move us to a map. Bear with me here for a second. I've got to move some things around because of choices that have been made.
Bear with you isn't angry.
Bear with me. I am
Just
there
like in
now.
Russia.
Just like
And-
in Russia.
Just like Mama used to make.
And Siege, Rocco has been calling you Sieg, period. Like, that's not like me mispronouncing. That's it. It's what he's been calling you, Sieg.
Which would
Like
be Russian.
Siegfried.
Oh, no, okay, gotcha. Moving the map. Okay,
I
great.
think that might actually be his real name.
Sieg.
So, those of you that are entering on ground level, do you now understand what I mean by the debris and kind of like hassle for kind of getting through the door, getting through the broken windows? And those who are up top, when you get up to the top, there is an open entrance that kind of leads into a kind of narrow little hallway with some lights kind of flashing. And as you're kind of approaching that space, you would hear what sounds like people talking. And one voice that's kind of louder than the others kind of yelling. And what he's saying isn't it's not anything important. It's not something I kind of jotted down, but it sounds like one person is kind of barking orders at the others. Those of you who are entering in, once you get there, you would see 2 escalators up ahead of you. And hold on, I've got something for this. And unfortunately, it's not going as quickly as I would like. It would have been rad if it would have popped, but basically, this is what it looks like for their perspective, looking down at you. So see how you're coming through that kind of mess of a space there? And then you folks are kind of up on the top right there. You would see 4 individuals, all of them looking familiar to you except for one, cryptid. These are the people that you met at the bowling alley the other day. Except for this guy, who is a big-ass dude, not wearing a shirt, covered in tattoos. It looks like a bunch of like panthers. It looks like a bunch of like wrestling, like eagles and sharks. There's just all sorts of crazy tattoos, and most of them look like they were drawn by someone who's less than professional. Like they definitely do not look good. And on the center of all of their chests is a big hand that's been tattooed to their chests. And he goes, "Okay, hey there, okay, hold on. You there, what brings you to the Church of the Fated One?" And once you kind of get into position, Siege, Rocco has definitely caused you a bit of problems, but you've definitely taken your time with your roll to kind of like get back to him and be like, "Shh, fuck up," and then like slowly advance ahead. So your stealth was kind of like a challenge. The 2 of you, 1 success, 1 failure. The fumble was not, again, a 3 is really low, but it wasn't so bad that it dragged you down entirely. So you're able to get into that position without presumably being noticed. But yeah, he says, "What brings you to the church? Excuse me, what brings you to the Church of the Fated One?"
I am here on pilgrimage. I think my friends might remember me.
She is the one. She is the one with the pages. And he looks down at you. "Too small. There's no way you would be the one with the pages."
You sure about that? And I'm gonna reach up and click my holographic face mask.
Yeah. And he looks down at you, and you're still, 5'9", probably, standing on your tippy toes, and maybe a buck, like what, 50, buck 30,
Yeah.
Dripping wet. Like he looks at you, like, "Yeah, you're too small."
I'm gonna walk forward very slowly, very methodically, and just start quoting my scream sheet word for word, as if it were scripture.
Give me a Oh god, I had this prepped, but I forgot the name of the role. Hold on, I'm looking at a character sheet. I believe that because you're speaking in this fashion, we're going to go to education. And I want you to give me a composition roll. Obviously, you're not composing what you're saying. The composition here is how it is being
Perfectly. This is Shakespeare on the main stage. We're in World Theater. Let's go.
It was a 27 for folks at home.
I love it.
You see all of the three that you know kind of like, bow their heads low and kind of place their hands on their heads and then kind of make like this motion. They keep doing this. Like they're exploding. But the guy with the hand on his chest kind of moves angrily towards the escalator, which is obviously not active, and kind of just starts walking down it. And he says, "You say you are the one who made the pages, but that does not matter. You come into my church, and you make others do the praying? That is blasphemy!" And he points at you. And like everything goes quiet for a second, and it's like an anime moment where it's like he's pointing at you. The words he said to lead up to this point don't make much sense, and he's just kind of pointing at you.
That
While all this is going on, can Siege do something?
What would you like to do?
I would like to just sort of brace my bipod on this railing and sort of just get in my shooting stance and prepared to fuck shit up.
You're doing so quietly?
Yes.
I'll need another stealth roll from you.
believe.
And just so I'm confirming, this guy isn't wearing Elmano's hand, right?
He is wearing Elmano's hand.
He is, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
17 total.
Let me
He's
describe.
tatted up like a cheap Elmano knockoff.
Yep. Let me explain what the hand looks like. It is the elbow down to the fingertips. A massive hand. You can see that the bones are titanium threaded and titanium cord. It looks as though the meat inside has rotted away into a very strange jerky-like substance. And you can see that the knuckles and just the fingers and everything are just in this weird kind of like erratic state of like, it's almost like, it's like a, I'm trying to think of a good analogy here that doesn't sound horribly terrible or ableist. It looks gnarled. Like it looks fucked up, is the best way to describe it. It looks like someone, blew it up and then dropped it off like a few 100 feet. You know what I mean? It looks fucked up, but it looks like the cut at the elbow, clean. Whatever was shot through him,
Magpie says withered.
Withered is a good word. Yeah. Thank you.
I thought
Like a
Gnarled was a
monkey
good
paw.
one too.
I think Gnarl's a bit better because it still looks fucking buff, right? Like it's still
But also-
Elmano's forearm and hand.
But in comparison to what Elmano was,
Sure.
It is
Desiccated
withered.
and curled up.
The forearm is wrapped in a gold chain, which is wrapped around his neck. And when I say a gold chain, I don't mean like, like thin corded gold chain. I'm talking like big old, like,
Nice.
links. It's like the big old links that's like, yeah, it's almost like a chain you would like pull your car with, but gold plated somehow.
Oh, I meant like ice. Like
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah,
see.
no, I could, no, it is more like a thick, like chain. And Rocco,
Yeah.
even from this distance, like, well, I don't mean like a chain that you would wear as
desiccated.
jewelry. I mean like a chain you would use for like industrial purposes. Even from this distance, Rocco, as you're kind of like watching Siege kind of get into position, and apparently without being noticed, set up a bipod stand with his Constitution Defender, big old LMG. The gold plating is just spray paint.
All right.
So it doesn't look like I could easily break the hand away.
It definitely looks like you would have to kind of like wrench that chain off of him because it's not just wrapped around him like this. It kind of looks like he kind of did one of these and kind of like locked it onto him.
Gotcha. Thanks.
You can't just yank
That was
his
my plan.
chain.
I was gonna try to grapple hand it away. That's what I was asking.
Yoink! Okay, we win!
Yeah.
And then we leave.
Ta-da!
Is there anybody further back at all, like that I can see through into the rest of the mall?
No, actually, not a single person you can see on their level or below. It looks like these 4 individuals are the only ones that are present here. But I will explain again. They are muscle-bound, massive beasts of meat, El Mono-esque demons of power. Probably nowhere near as strong as Rest in Peace and also Rest in Power. But they are definitely not a physical hurdle that is going to be easily leapt over.
They ain't our hot rod, but they're not too far off.
Yeah. They're muscle cars, is the main thing.
So Cryptid's gonna kind of spread her hands placatingly and say, "Hey, there's room for 2 prophets here. I'm not trying to run you off
There
your
isn't.
territory."
The fated one. Only one of us can move on to continue the explosion. He points at you. And it won't be you. I'd break you in half. You're a toothpick.
No one's trying to stop you from exploding.
He
I'm
kind of
not here to take that place.
good. Then you are not a prophet, and shut your mouth about the pages. If you wish to capitulate to me,
Who are you?
and you see him kind of stop for a second.
Determine who?
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Who are you to determine what constitutes as a prophet? You didn't fucking write those words. You weren't there.
You see him use the word capitulate, and you kind of cut him off, and then you see his head kind of twitch to the side, and Rocco, Rem, and Cryptid, go ahead and make a Cybertech roll.
Yeah, that's fucking.
Uh-oh.
Is that
Which
under
side does he look
technique?
to?
It's not a look; it's more of like a twitch.
Oh, I
What
got
is
you.
that? What is that under
Tech.
I think
That's
it's
under
technique.
technique?
Cybertech.
Cybertech.
15.
You would notice Rocco, like as you kind of get behind Siege and kind of watch the situation, that he seems to, when he twitches, kind of favor the right side of his neck. And when he goes back to talking, you would see that he has a very poorly installed shard slot. And it looks like there is a shard in there that is sparking a bit, which means that it's probably a very poorly installed skill chip. So he's probably not this erudite or good at talking, and his language is being bolstered by the skill chip.
I want to pull that so bad.
So, 2 things. One, I say in Cryptid's ear, try and win over the other 3, and I mentioned the chip, that he's being aided by that chip. He's got a silver sparking tongue.
A silver electric
Cryptid
tongue.
is gonna take that, and she's actually going to turn her attention from this man, kind of trusting my people behind me. I'm gonna step over a little bit here and turn my attention to the 3 people up top. And I'm gonna say, this man, he would have you believe that he is the fated one. He's not. There was only one fated one. His
It's
name
right there
was
in the
El
name.
Mano. This man, he is spreading the false word. There is not one person who is destined to carry on El Mano's task. We are all meant to, and he would deny you of your right to uphold the honor that man gave his life for. That man exploded in a fantastic, marvelous spectacle to help the people, to help you, to help everyone. He would deny you of your right. Are you going to stand for it? This false prophet?
They keep Eric Warheiming, right? Like they keep on just doing this, right? But make a persuasion roll.
Okay, this may not go great.
I believe in you.
Let's see. What's
You can spend luck
persuasion
after
is
the
usually...
fact.
Oh wait, it's cool. It's cool. It's not empathy.
It's
So this could be.
okay.
Not bad,
So
not
you
bad.
speak to them, and they kind of stop like this, and they kind of lower their heads, and you can kind of see them like praying a bit, and then they kind of put their hands down. And they say, and they kind of start looking at each other, and there's like this moment of realization, and he kind of points at you again, and even though you didn't, he says, "You speak the words of the pages? I will not have it. Bring forth your challenger."
Bring forth my challenger.
You wish to take the prophet's space and become the one who will explode? Who do you offer up?
As the true
What meat?
As the true prophet, I will choose that person right there, and I'm gonna point up to the biggest motherfucker behind him on the balcony.
Auto fire.
They all kind of look at each other, and when you kind
Nope.
of,
As soon as she points, he auto fires.
oh wait, you're, does she pointing? You're pointing at him?
Distracting
See.
by pointing over there. Is he just
Oh.
taking advantage of the distraction?
Oh no, shit! I'm sorry. I thought she pointed at Siege.
No, the biggest motherfucker behind him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not giving away Siege. Are you kidding?
Oh, I see.
Siege is also not the biggest motherfucker up on the second floor.
No,
That's good.
No, those people make you look like. Well, they make you.
He's in Full Metal Gear.
fucking
Okay, let's
Rocco.
give him some props. He does look pretty bulky. Okay, it's just more of like
That's
a.
true. Okay.
It's
They
more
could
like
probably
a.
still bench him though.
It's more of like
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
In the
You
armor.
fit in well.
If you point,
fit in well. If you just put a little bit more protein in your body.
you point out that way. Remember, Cryptid, Siege is not taking the shot unless he's told to, because that's what he said. Do you say on the
Mhm.
hollow as you're kind of distracting him, take the shot, or no?
I'll signal it.
Yep. Okay, and so you want this guy lit up?
Yeah.
Auto fire, as you said.
Auto.
You
I
are,
tried.
fire.
you are effectively joining a combat, so you can switch your combat awareness to whatever you want. As far as armor goes, it does look like he has subdermal plating. It's kind of bulging inside of them, like out from the muscles. But you have the brace. Is this the HV rounds or the non-HV?
Non-HV.
Okay.
So this is going to be an extra +1 to hit.
And again, you can change your combat awareness before you start rolling. So if
I
you
did.
wanna-
I already changed it to precision and spot weakness.
Gotcha. 21. What distance are we at here? So 22 because you have the plus. 16 meters. We needed a 17. You nailed it. You beat it by 4. Which I think is one shy
No,
of the
I beat it by 5.
Oh, because plus 1. Correct. So which is the maximum. So
Yep.
8 times 5 is 40.
hmm
Minus 11. No, sorry. Skin weave. So minus 7. 33 points of damage. Hail of bullets slam into this guy from the Liberty. If you'd had the HV, I think you would have been really close to killing him, actually. That's funny. But he is seriously injured. And I'm going to go ahead and put up an initiative count.
My plan is to
Oh.
give Rocco the other Liberty I have and have him turn that one into my HV gun.
Yeah, we'll see.
I survived.
Everybody go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh, nice, Riff.
And then
You have to get to
Cryptid,
25.
Cryptid, and Rem. Go ahead and make a local expert Night City roll. No bonus here because you're not. It's just generic Night City. It's not. You don't have the specific district.
Wait, where is this located?
Education. Sorry.
Education.
Riff.
Education.
Yeah, you're kind of a street kid too. Go ahead and roll it. Local expert Night City.
The fuck? Where is? You said
All the way to the
oh,
bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, I also have local expert Night City.
It's not about having it. Everybody has it. It's about who's rolling it.
Oh, okay.
Riff knows about games. Cryptid is.
It says you don't have any skills yet. Click here to edit.
You
or
do not
to
have
get
local
started.
expert Night City.
It's not listed there. I see local expert, and that box is just fucking empty.
That's wild. You're supposed to have 2 points in Night City or your home turf. And then what I do is it's Night City / a district. When you're in that district, you just get a +1.
All right, let's add that real fucking quick.
Also, the
because,
district determines whether or not you have the requisites for specific perks. There are perks that say...
Oh, I
if you-
never got a district for mine.
Oh,
you
no
said
worries.
It should be level 2.
Well, yeah, it should be 2. In your mind, though, Elizabeth, Rem, what district would she kind of be focused in on? Would it be the Glen, you think? Is that where she started?
I
Or
think
more
so.
corporate center, because she's kind of like...
We'll just
Yeah,
focus.
she's from corporate center, but
Let's
she
go
kind
Corpo
of
Center.
floated down towards the Glen.
Yeah, they kind of... I mean, Haywood gets close, but yeah, go ahead and put Corpo Center
Okay.
as your /. And then Cryptid, you're from the Glen, so that'll be what you put when you get around to it.
The other one.
But Rem, you would be aware of the fact that the animals are a solitary combat focused game. And when it breaks from that, it's kind of like you're breaking from like kind of unspoken warriors code. So Siege just shot that guy, which could be taken as a challenge between Siege and that guy. The initiatives have been rolled, and the animals are just going to be going on the bottom of the initiative, by the way. No, sorry. Hold on. Notes? No, sorry. The animals will be going on 1, except for the guy who's being shot at. We'll be going on 18, sorry. So you would know that if other people join the combat at this point, the other 3 are probably going to be burdened by their kind of warrior mentality to try and break everyone else off of the fight between Siege and this guy.
That's fine.
So, first up is Riff. Do you want to say anything before the combat starts, Rem, or is Riff being free to do as he pleases?
She would overhollow, let them know, like, best to let,
Respect the 1v1.
yeah, like 1v1, just watch the others.
Mano el mano.
Okay, so we're respecting the 1v1. That's fine. So if we're respecting the 1v1, I'm going to use my perk to have Siege take his turn next instead of that guy.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell
Oh,
yeah! We love seeing perks in use.
Riff
Just
kind
pulling
of
out the guitar.
Yeah. Combat music.
Gotta have
Siege.
some good fight music.
Throwing down that like Final Fantasy fucking background music.
Those who fight hardest. Riff
Well,
done.
I started blasting.
You're up next. So your turn happens now, but that doesn't mean your turn doesn't also happen on 10. Riff's perk allows you to take a turn now.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Extra turn, extra turn.
I believe
Auto
it's
fire.
once per series, right?
Is it once per series?
I'll double check it.
So that's a 19. I believe that beats the DV by 2, and that is also another 8 damage.
So 8 times 2 is 16, minus the 7, because the weave he's got in him doesn't depreciate. That would be 9. So he is pretty fucked up, but he is still standing. He's taken a total of, from as far as you can understand, 42 points of damage.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I forgot. We've got a rocker here. Can I put 2 points of luck on that?
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to spend luck on it, so it'll multiply.
Yeah.
So an extra 16.
Yep.
Okay. So he's at 60 down. He is still standing.
Nice.
Anything else?
No.
Right.
I think that's. I mean, I could move, but I seem to be rocking it from right here. So
He moves to here. You then watch as he kind of like jumps over the kind of trash and lands there. You watch his legs compress fully so that his heels are touching his butt. You then hear a very like kind of loud popping sound as his legs extend, and you would see muscles in his calves and his thighs like jut out like in this kind of like crazy like web-like pattern, and you see his body just launch up into the air towards Siege. As he's flying up, his fist is cocking back, and he's just covered with bullet holes and blood's just splaying everywhere. He's like, "The fated one!" and just dives straight into you with a punch. You can go ahead and make an evasion roll. However, if you do so, you will break the brace. So that means the brace will automatically lift in.
That's totally fine. Totally worth dodging whatever punch that punch has name.
You got a 29 on the attack roll.
Jesus Christ.
Believe in you, Siege.
Fighting, evasion.
Okay. There is no amount of luck that can be spent on that to fix it. So you watch as he like leaps up in the air, his own blood flying out of him as he's like covered with bullet holes. He slams his fist into Siege's chest. Siege, you fly back up to 4 meters / yards. So like back in diagonal, it would be this way because he's actually kind of slamming you into the wall.
Mhm.
And you will be taking a total of 58 points of damage to the chest.
Shit.
Minus armor.
Armor should be 18 if you're wearing the metal gear.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
So that takes 18 off.
Sorry. It counts as a melee weapon, so it effectively treats it as half. So 58
Oh,
minus
9 is
9.
still not nothing.
49 points of damage.
Yeah, you said it was 58 minus 9, so 49 points of damage. That puts me at
Not
11.
great.
Roll 2d6.
Critical injury?
Yeah.
Pain editor, baby.
Oh, that's for seriously wounded. You just
okay.
ignore the effect of
I
seriously
got
wounded with pain editor.
Yeah, so...
But you
alright,
still take... The only reason the damage is where it's at is because he does plus 10 damage on a crit. So...
Jesus.
effectively, his hammer or his hand is power weaponed.
There's my 2d6.
Just,
Broke my arm, didn't you, you bastard?
We'll see. We'll see.
Mm.
No. So
Go
he
take
hits
a
you in the
leg.
chest, and you feel the armor like compress in, and you can feel this kind of like, oh, as he slams you in the chest, and your whole body just becomes like jello inside the armor as you fly back. The damage is actually dealt on the back hit. You have a spinal injury. Your next turn, you cannot take an action, but you can still take a move action. And that's it. That's all it does. Just a 1 turn penalty. Also, your base death save moving forward is increased by 1. But yeah, he slams his fist into your chest. The armor ablates by 2, by the way. And
I'm
you
fucked, you guys.
are up next. Because
Either
Cryptid...
Siege is fucked, or we are fucked.
Cryptid. I rolled insanely well on the first roll.
Right.
I just want to make sure. The 17 might
Yeah,
evade
that
his
was-
attack rolls normally, but I rolled a 10 and a 9. So
And then you crit on the damage.
I did a lot on that first hit. I'm not saying that's going to go like that every time, but we'll see. I'm really happy with the result, but yeah, we'll see. I don't think it's going to happen again. Cryptid, what would you like to do?
Well, leaning on Rem's expertise, I am not engaging that man. I'm gonna try to trust that I hired the right person to do the job.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna walk in this direction. 1, 2, 3.
You
I'm
keep
gonna get to about here.
Proselytizing?
What?
Are you going to keep proselytizing?
Yep, I'm gonna keep proselytizing.
You get 3
Do you need me
seconds.
to actually say the words?
It's 3 seconds. We're not going to get much substance out of that. Okay,
Yeah.
Siege, you are up. Your action is spent. You have movement only. So how would you like to move? Oh, wait. Oh, he's there. He's there.
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
No worries. It just your camera.
'cause
Oh no, it didn't freeze.
Yeah,
You were
I had
just-
something. I had something that came to mind, and then I forgot what it was.
It's the reverse of last time. Oh, sorry. I don't want to have no music in the background if I do end
No
up
accent. I
murdering.
can't even use my speed heal
Why not?
because it takes an action to use.
Oh, right.
Wait, does it take an action to use? Let me check real quick.
Which one do you have?
The Trauma Team Blood Pump as an action. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess my best bet will be to try to move away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I'll move like over here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
That
I think that's a viable place. It's kind of dark. So that's
is
my
that a
move.
wall or
And
is
that's
that
it
a
for me.
catwalk?
Before we get to it,
That's
though,
catwalk.
I want to make sure, Rocco, make another cyber tech roll. I think.
Okay. $19 again.
So you are familiar with borged out individuals, and normally this martial art that you're seeing kind of displayed before you is utilized by people with full body conversions. You don't think that this person has a full body conversion? Like they're not in a kind of like mecha or like robot suit? Like that does not appear what they are. But the move they just use is a technique used by Panzerfaust practitioners, and the move was called Borg Fist. Just to kind of give you some understanding as to what that means, instead of using two actions, you make a single attack, and if you hit, that attack does 5d6 if you're just a normal attacker, 6d6 if your humanity is 0 or less. So apparently, the person we're dealing with here
Like
is
Cyber Psycho.
is someone who's using techniques that are kind of cyber, like Borg related. He is definitely fighting in kind of a fashion that's not typical. So Siege, you kind of move away, kind of spit blood in your Metal Gear. Rem, you're hearing the situation up above. It doesn't sound it doesn't sound like it's the best.
Yeah.
But
She's just gonna move closer to Cryptid
all right.
and kind of keep an eye up there on Siege, because there's no way she can get up there all the way to him.
Rocco.
So anyway, I can mess with the voice transponder without it being taken as combat.
What are you talking about?
The thing in his neck, like, can I pull it out without it being seen as an
the
attack?
chip. If you were a net runner, yeah.
Well, I mean,
It's
yeah,
ki-
I'm not a net runner, but
yeah,
like,
you would have to physically get to the chip, press it down, and then pull it out.
yeah, he's right near me.
That would be considered combat, is what I'm trying to relay with the fact that you're touching him. So,
Yeah, I mean, it
It's
might be
okay.
considered combat to him, but what about the other three?
I think
ooh.
it's basically like a 50-50 if I'm going to make it through the next turn. And
Right.
if I do make it through the next turn, I'm confident I can get the situation under control.
That's an interesting question, Josh. And by the way, so far, you're doing wonderful tonight on making me think. And also making me annoyed because all the thinking I did do, you just looked right through it, which annoyed the shit out of me in the first bit. We'll talk about that later. Back to
Okay.
the point, though. Make me a pickpocket roll.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I'm setting the DV low because they're far away and they're kind of focused on Cryptid. She's distracting. So we're looking at a DV9. You need a 10 or
And-
better. Tech is
and
where
pick-
pickpocket. Tech.
Tech.
I
Okay.
believe in you.
Because it requires
I
technique.
also believe in you a lot.
15.
Hey,
So you kind of like panic run towards him, like you're trying to escape, and he kind of looks at you like he's not even looking at you. He's looking at Siege, right? And you kind of bump into him, and he kind of looks down at you. And it's at that moment you kind of reach up, press the shard, pull it, and kind of start rushing past him. But you see that he detects it. He sees it. And kind of turns his attention towards you. You have his ire. And you see his neck kind of spark as well as like the slot charge or the slot shard when it's pulled out seems to cause the actual receiver, the socket, to fuck up. It was only being held in there by that. So he's going to suffer a feedback, which is going to deal 5 damage to him. He's still alive, but you are now currently the person he's turning his attention to. The animals, so far as you understand, did not see that.
Okay.
He's not respecting the 1v1.
Rocco, anything else? You can move. You're going to need to move at least up to him.
I'm gonna need to
You can move past him as well.
I think joining the lower ranks are probably.
That's a 25-foot drop.
Yeah, but as we said, I might have something in my bag to get down.
Oh, yeah. But you use your action to get the shard.
I see. Got it. Well, then I'm going to. I'm of two minds of this, because if he disrespects the 1v1 and attacks me, then the other three might
Oh, that's awesome.
be upset about that. So I might go more toward them.
Yeah.
But that also leaves me open for a 5d6 damage, which would probably kill me. I have no armor.
If he hits.
If he hits, for sure.
Sorry, it's 66 because he is.
Yeah, great. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
So, what I'll do is, I'm gonna use my. Oh, okay. So I've done my action. I can't do that. That's fine. Yeah. So I'm gonna. Can I do like full move?
Yeah.
Since I moved past him, full move would be what? How many squares?
Whatever your movement is, that's the number of squares you can move.
And I can't do like double that because I did an action.
Yeah, your action was pulling the shard. Perfectly executed. But yeah,
Perfect.
Unfortunately, it'll limit your range a bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's.
Riff.
So I'm moving straight. Yeah.
Again, you are not aware of the situation up above. It's 25 feet above you. It's kind of happening right above you. You see that the animals are kind of like looking down at Cryptid, and they're kind of like looking at each other, and it kind of looks like they're like exchanging glances and starting to kind of listen to her. They are not focusing on the fight. They seem to be allowing it to happen. What would you like to do, Riff?
But I for sure heard Siege get punched in the chest, right?
You can actually hear him probably coughing up a bit of himself.
Yeah, because I've got my cyber audio suite.
And you turn it back on after you left the diner, of course.
Oh, for sure.
4K sound.
Just because in case Siege does get fucked up, I kind of want to be there. I'd like to use my grapple hand to shoot it up to, I'm assuming this is a railing,
Yeah.
and kind of pull myself up there.
Are you
Somewhere up
going
in this
for
area.
Siege, or are you going for Rocco?
Seeing that I saw him jump up towards this way.
You're just going up that direction. Okay, got it.
Yeah, like
Go ahead and
somewhere
zip
just
line
in
up.
that general direction. I'd say probably about like here, I would say.
Okay. That's it?
Yeah, it's an action to do that. So
And the move, which, got it. Okay. So, it'll go to him. He's kind of like focused in on Siege. Bump, snap, there goes the shard. You see him kind of throw his fist out forward and then like loop his body around so that like the lead of his like forced punch is actually continuing the momentum as he spins 180 degrees, presses down with one foot and then pushes off with the other. And like if you played Street Fighter 2, he basically Balrog spins and comes flying at you with the punch, Rocco, zipping right past you, Riff. I need you to make an evasion roll, Rocco.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw a look at this.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what the result is before you
Yeah.
can kind of determine whether it's going to be a waste.
That's true.
I got an 18, so the DV you need to hit is an 18. You need to hit 18 on the nose because you're the defender.
And where's evasion?
Evasion's under fighting.
fighting.
In fighting. Thank you.
Yeah. I believe.
I also believe.
Okay.
I'm gonna. So how much is that?
We need 4. Everybody can chip in 1 besides you. If you want to spend 4, you can just get rid of it right off the bat, though. But does anybody chipping in?
Oh,
Siege
I'm
is chipping in.
one.
Cryptid, we got 1. Siege is chipping in. You're
And
chipping
Rem.
in 1.
Rem is, yeah.
And what
And I'll
about?
chip in 1.
Okay, so that's 4. We're locked in.
Yep.
So basically, this fist comes flying over you, and by sheer fate, you drop down. Like you don't even know why. Your legs become jelly. All of this stuff just happens, and your head descends as fists come.
I got it. I dropped the chip on the ground back, so I'm like, oops.
Oh! Okay, so we're turning this into a fucking... okay, I'll change the
I
music
was
to Benny
flailing
Hill.
around,
Hold
right?
on a second. I'm just going to change it to
Yeah.
Benny Hill. Uh,
You just need to keep
whoosh.
that keyed up.
Actually, I'm not going to play Benny Hill because I have played it on a stream before, and when it went to YouTube, it got copyrighted.
Yep.
So the fist comes flying over your head, Rocco, and just narrowly misses. It slams into the wall behind you, and you watch it indent the concrete, like full on embedding his wrist, like to the wrist, his fist in the concrete. He then pulls it out and looks down at you, goes, and just kind of slobbering at you, not really saying words now anymore.
Is talking a free action?
Yeah, but I want to say too, when his like speech kind of blathers out, you would see the hand move aside. It's big weight. He did a full spin, and you'd see a weird device like set in his chest, big red button, and tattooed right above that it says, "If red, you dead." Button
motherfucker.
glowing red. Absolute poser. Fuck. But yeah, slams his fist in the wall, pulls it out, and it's just slobbering at you like he can't even speak right now.
I shout out. He's disrespecting the terms of the combat. To the three.
Cryptid.
Cryptid is going to very dramatically whip her head to the side and say the false prophet does not respect the terms of combat. And I'm going to shoot at him
You
with
can't.
my microwaver. I can't?
He's 25 feet above you, and they're kind of inside on the balcony. There's no shot.
Ah. Well, then I'll just point menacingly.
Got it. You can start moving up the escalator, but I don't think you're going to be able to get a shot with movement
Yeah.
constraints. Siege.
4, 5, 6.
So let me see, 13 to 25. That's the sweet spot.
You kind of, like, you know, you moved over. You're like, God, I hope he. And you see his eyes, and you're just watching him. He turns around, and you smile inside of your Metal Gear. The smile forces like a bit of blood to just kind of drool down your lips. You go, all right, motherfucker, and you just lift up that fucking defender and set it on the rail, looking at him like, what do you say to Riff and Rocco? For flavor, they're in the way.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something cool. I just needed to catch my breath.
Riff, when you kind of land up there, I need you to make an evasion roll. Otherwise, you're going to provide him cover because of positioning.
Oh, yep.
Success. So you say, I just needed to catch my breath. Drop the gun onto the railing, kind of point it down range. Riff disappears underneath the railing. Go ahead and throw the auto fire.
That is an 18 to hit. That's 1 over.
You want to spend luck?
Um,
I'll give him a luck back.
I'll say right now, because I'm more than favorable and always have been, +1 on the multiplier is all you needed. Also note the dice that you rolled. It's 1 shy of being a crit. I just want to make sure that 12 is noted. There's a +1 because of spot weakness. It's
Of
not
course.
12 is not a boxcar all the time. But the main point is Riff drops down. Rocco, you see the thing coming in as you're kind of drop down and the fist slams behind you and you're kind of staring up at it. You kind of dive back in a way, kind of falling on your back, and a hail of bullets from the LMG kind of slam into this guy, and you just hear as the bullets just take him, and he falls to the ground. This mass of sparks and like white cooling fluid and blood that just all over the ground, fully and absolutely obliterated by the LMG.
that once that's done,
Yeah.
ominously walk over and pull the fist off of him.
Okay.
I'm already doing that.
Yeah. So
I'm already pulling that off.
Rocco kind of pops up, reaches over, and starts detaching the chain. You start walking over, kind of looking at the situation, and you see Rocco kind of pull the fist off of him, kind of holding it up.
He says, "Is that the thing?"
It is, and I It has been won, and I toss it to Cryptid.
Well, you kind of walk over to her, and she's kind of
Okay,
looking
yeah.
at the animals who are kind of present there, and they're kind of looking at the situation. They saw him attack Rocco for no reason, and then they look at you and they say, "Everyone can explode."
Can explode, but there are
I'm
times
sorry.
and places
I
for
want
the
to.
explosion.
I want to pause for a second. The whole time, I want to make sure you are understanding what their mental processes have been. Because you said what you said, and they've been trying to rationalize that. And the thing that they came to, the point that they ended up on was
Everyone can explode.
everyone can explode. And
And
Rocco
everyone should.
walks over with the hand and hands it over to Cryptid. And the chain kind of like, attached to it is pretty well in there, but it doesn't look like it's permanent. Rocco, looking at the titanium like pieces inside the cyber arm, you realize you could take just a baseline cyber arm, cleft it, and kind of attach it to this, and it would basically make a very powerful cyber arm, in your opinion. And it's kind of a wrap-up situation kind of leading into that. I know for a fact that Cryptid would be okay handing over the hand to Rocco to make it right. However,
Oh yeah, she's.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say she would probably, in front of the animals, make it into like the ritual kind of handoff, like when
Mhm.
you hand a katana to somebody, both hands like protect
Very
it
formal.
well.
But what I would say is there's a couple of
The holy relic.
there's a couple of narrative beats here that are not like, in my opinion, as much as I want to keep being really stupid and saying everyone explodes. I'm just going to kind of summarize like what you kind of glean from these specific three animals. So these three animals here will, for anyone in this team, if you ever need 3 extra bodies for a mission, you can call them in. You'll then roll a d3, and that many will be able to arrive for your job to help. Now, it can only be done during the planning portion of a mission. You can't be in the middle of the fucking shit and be like, I need animal support. That's not going to work. But if you're like, okay, we're going out to the Badlands to move some shit, or we're going to go do this gig at a warehouse, or whatever the fuck you're doing, right? You got crazy ass bastards. You could
fodder.
you could call and get some bodies, okay? And it's 1d3 bodies, and you'll get, either 1 or 2 or 3 of them. Second, the arm will be repaired, and I will notate it as an iconic inside of the game. But before that happens, obviously it's being upgraded. I want to determine with the group that is here, and only the group that is here first, who that hand is going to. So for the next, dozen or so minutes, I want you folks to argue who gets the hand. Oh, don't know what it does? Is that what you're gonna say? It's a cyber arm with the standard number of cyber arm attachment slots, so you can put whatever you want in it. At current, it has no pop-up or no like attachments or whatsoever. However, it is treated as a gorilla arm that deals 5d6 for brawling attacks only.
Oh,
And
hell yeah.
as a brawling attack weapon, it ignores 1/2 armor values when it is hitting a target that is armored, like a melee weapon would do. Not typically something that happens with brawling.
I mean,
Do we know what the humanity loss would be to install it?
46.
I'm not familiar with the growth.
It acts like a regular cyber arm, but this one specifically, because of size, will reduce it by more.
As much as I would love to vie for this, I would go full psycho, installing this almost without.
That's a way to go, though, right? Like, that'd be a really cool way to end it.
That is a way to go.
They give you a big old fucking Donkey Kong fist, and you just start murdering your friends.
Cryptid's thought would be to have Rocco hold on to it in his very heavily fortified vehicle, if he's willing to.
Again, if you're just keeping
that
it as...
would be Cryptid's up.
Yeah, if you're keeping it as just relic. Like a relic, then that's fine. If you want to install it into someone, this is the group that would get first dibs, effectively. And then past that point, you can decide if there's somebody worth giving it to outside of this crew.
I don't know.
I'm
I
already
got this
missing
shit
an
on.
arm.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
hey!
sorry,
I
sorry.
forgot about that.
Sorry, real quick. It is the opposite arm. It is a right-handed fist.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
So
Well, you could be missing another arm.
I do want to make sure that that is very clear. It is the right hand that has to go for the big puncher. It has no other prerequisites. It is just a cyber arm that when you make a brawling attack with it, it deals 5d6 and ignores half armor.
I know a good ripper. He might leave a little fur on you, but
We know the best ripper. His name's Redtail.
Well, Siege was going to point out that this dead guy at their feet probably has some pretty good cyberware too.
Yeah. And again, the animals are a a predatory kind of mentality. I don't mean like like weird like SA shit. I mean like they're like hunters and predators like in the wild. So you kill, you eat. So take the body. The parts are yours.
Siege kind of points at it and he says to Rocco, he says, "Can you get the cyberware out of this guy?"
Rocco, you would know that's not a you thing. That's a surgeon thing. So you would need to take the body to a doctor, and they need to cut him
I
up.
know a guy I just mentioned, but
But yeah, Rocco, you're smart enough to be able to gauge what cyberware we're looking at here. There's a Berserk implant. It looks like it is damaged. It is not the same Berserk implant that El Mano had. It is just a base Berserk implant. Ah, baby cat. My God, baby cat. No. Hold on.
Jimmy.
Ah. Stop rolling over on the keyboard, you bad no goody. Okay, put that in the way. Okay, sorry, I had to fight another battle.
The white dragon.
The white, blue, well, green.
Kim just wanted to show you his
Wise
belly.
white dragon.
Yeah, the eyes dragon.
Oh,
So
goodness.
he has 2 gorilla arms. He has an internal frame. It is the 12 body one. And then you probably don't want the neuroport. It looks like it's been pretty fucked because of the socket shenanigans in his neck. He has grafted muscle and bone lace, but you can't really take that out and use it. The linear frame is pretty cool though. It's the internal. I think it's a Sigma. It's not the.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same one Siege has.
You're
The only thing on that guy that would be of any interest to Siege would probably be those gorilla arms, just to give him like literally more points.
Yeah, you won the fight, so I mean, I don't think anybody's going to argue with you. If you already have cyber arms, it's an easy install. If not,
saying that this man
he has the cyber arms.
Yeah. Let me see. I don't think I have any cyber arms.
Fun fact: in Cyberpunk, Beta is stronger than Sigma. So just heads up there.
Fun. Would
he's a Sigma male.
Would Cryptid have a problem? Oh, so wait, is the gorilla arms different from El Mano's arm? I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
So
Correct?
the guy had 3 arms, right? Like he had one around his neck, and he
I
had the 2 he was throwing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the gorilla arms do 3d6 on brawling attacks, or melee. They count as melee weapons that do 3d6.
And then El Mano's had 5d6.
But specifically for brawling attacks, yeah, it kind of it's depending on what skill you want to use. El Mano used brawling, never took martial arts, just punchy punch.
So what I'm hearing is Siege wants that El Mano's hand, correct?
Siege, it
No,
sounds
Siege
like
wants
wants the
the
gorilla
guy.
arms, like the actual 2 cyber
gorilla
arms. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
No,
Siege has no real reason to want
Okay.
El Mano's arm other than it hits hard.
Yeah, mechanically it's cool, but like it is going to make
Yeah.
them look goofy. The gorilla arms are
Anything
going
off
to
of
be
that
tight
guy?
and inside the of the Metal Gear, very smooth. And then the Berserk
Yeah,
implant, that's another thing.
Yeah, you can strip and part out that guy like Hatter did my fan. I don't give a shit.
Just got to find a doc to do it. Berserk implant, let me go ahead and tell you what that does. Berserk implant, it says it's a neuralware option. The implant induces a powerful adrenaline rush on command. When activated as an action, the user ignores the effects of seriously and mortally wounded states for 60 seconds. So 1 minute, 20 rounds. With one exception, mortally wounded characters must still make death saves. After the activation period expires, the implant cannot be activated again for 1 hour. So basically, you ignore, you don't need a pain editor chip, which is a skill chip. You instead just have this installed in you, and you can ignore mortally wounded negatives, which means you can continue fighting at full strength even while you're dying.
That's the Berserk implant?
That's the Berserk implant.
Okay, cool. So, well, considering Siege is wearing everything that was in his bag, he's gonna fold this guy up and stuff him in his bag, and then he's gonna
honestly
make arrangements with Redtail to basically be like, "Hey, I'm gonna swing by and we're gonna talk business."
He also had
because he needs to get patched up, and he usually goes to Redtail anyways. So he's gonna be like, "Hey, can you get the shit off this guy?" And we'll finish out the details, but he could possibly like pay him in the cyberware he doesn't want.
He has two cyber
get
legs.
the guy off the ship.
He has two cyber legs with jump boosters as well, and the skin weave that he was wearing, it is a biological self-replicating skin weave that is no longer functional when the person dies. It's basically a referee's best friend. So, good armor for me, but not for thee.
Yeah, if he could arrange to have Rocco drop him off at Redtail's with the body.
Oh, he could.
I can't.
You can make it. You can make it to Redtail's. Yeah, it's close enough.
Perfect.
Go ahead and move us to the big map.
And that's where I'll park it tonight, probably then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
That's funny.
Fuck yeah!
That bad boy in the Glen. That's going to be really funny. I'm going to go ahead and move the behemoth to where Redtail's located. Here we
So
go.
Krypton is now the only fucking prophet for the hand, and y'all are the disciples.
Well, as mentioned,
It's great.
the animals will work for any one of you that are here.
Yeah.
That's kind of the boon of the party. The hand is the boon of like the group, and that's obviously going to Rocco and staying in the truck until somebody installs it. Is anybody here like that hasn't spoken up? So Riff, do you want the hand?
No, I don't. If I'm that close, I'm just gonna shoot somebody.
Yeah, and a funky handle fuck up your wrist.
You're like, I'm not in the mood to collect all the iconics, okay? It's like this motherfucker's got gold-plated everything. I'll take all the yellow.
I would love it, but I'm at fucking 10 humanity right now.
Oh yeah,
I
you'll
don't
die.
think that's a good idea.
Rem could use it. It definitely gives her a very strange aesthetic, but it would definitely
it's
be
a little
really
too big for her.
It would, yeah, she's more melee weapons than punching.
Yeah.
I think it goes into Vatican kind
Okay.
of default. It's just a holy relic.
So Rocco, you've got it, and again, if you want to install it yourself, that's something you could obviously do since you've been given, purview over it. Otherwise, you're holding on to it, and I'll post the stats for it, and then if people start showing interest, you can figure out who is worthy and who is not. That's up to the survivors of Rhea. Any kind of endpoint like additions that folks want to kind of throw on narratively? Obviously, the behemoth is only going to be able to make it to the Glen. Wellspring specifically, you'll park out front of Redtail's. Siege will go in and I want this corpse cut up, and then put it.
And then
inside
also
me.
patch me up, please.
Yeah, and then put it inside of me. You'd probably be able to take your own speed heal. In all honesty, and that would be he can't really heal you much more than that.
Okay, yeah, I took my own speed heal and it put me just north of half.
Perfect.
Wait,
Yeah,
do
because
you have a critical injury?
I did the
thing?
spinal injury. You said that only slowed
Yeah.
me down for one turn.
it only lasts for one turn, but it also gives you have a +1 to your base death save add 1 to your base death save penalty. So
I got you.
it is still a lasting effect, and he can fix your
Mhm.
spine.
Yeah, I mean, if it's if he's probably going to be doing some surgery on me anyways, I
For
might as
sure.
well.
I
I was
just
gonna
imagine
offer
it's
you
like a
drug spell
chiropractor.
if you did it. Right?
So gorilla arms, 2 cyber arms with those gorilla arms attached, and then you're also getting the berserker. Or do you want to hold off and let someone else grab that?
I might take the berserk just to add like a whole, just another level of durability.
Okay, and everybody's okay with that. I mean, he did get the kill, but again, he's also getting paid 3,000 for this, so there's that on top.
So I think that if he's
He's
looting all the
ready.
stuff and the group would be normally like divvying this out, he's probably going to owe us something monetarily wise to kind
Sure.
of make up for it.
Yeah.
And I would
Because again-
probably kind of eye him in that way. I also said I'd be also willing to fix his armor for a price.
Yeah, that's all negotiable. And like I said, he wasn't going to be using all the cyberware, so I imagine part of the conversation with Redtail would be like, what are we going to do with the rest of this stuff?
Sure. So there's going to be a pair of cyber legs with jump boosters, pretty cool. 2 cyber arms with gorilla arms installed, and then the berserk implant. That's basically what he had that was still salvageable. And then Elmano's arm is going into the Rocco shed. Okay. I think we'll leave it there. You guys can discuss inside of the thread who gets what regarding the cyberware. Just hash it out there, and also whatever finances need to exchange. That way, we're not just sitting here for the next 30 minutes arguing.
Yep, sounds good.
Who gets what? And I'll tell
I
you.
do like to argue.
No, I know. I'm gonna pop off here though. That was a great session. We'll see you folks for the next
So
one,
much fun.
which I think might be a week or 2 out. Just keep an eye on the notifications on Twitch or in Discord or wherever you're getting access to this. Okay, see you next time, and thanks for watching.